Manipulation in relationships can take many forms, and recognizing unhealthy patterns is crucial for emotional well-being. While both men and women can engage in manipulative behavior, today we'll explore 5 of the most impactful psychological tactics some women might use to control men. Understanding these dynamics can empower individuals to set healthy boundaries and foster more authentic connections. Not all battles are fought with fists, some are fought in the mind, and many men lose without ever realizing they've been in a war. Today, we expose 5 of the darkest manipulations women use to control men. Learn them, guard yourself, because once you see the game, you can never be played the same again. Part 1. Manipulation 1. Emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is one of the oldest weapons and one of the most devastating. It works like this. She leverages your empathy, guilt, or fear of losing her to force you into doing things you otherwise wouldn't. How it sounds. If you really loved me, you would. After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me? Maybe I should just leave, since you clearly don't care. Why it works. Because men are hardwired to protect and provide. When you believe you're hurting her, you instinctively want to fix it, even if you're not actually in the wrong. Real example. You tell her you need space to focus on work. She accuses you of not caring and threatens to find someone who does. Suddenly, you cancel your work plans not because you wanted to, but because you felt trapped emotionally. Key point. If you feel pressured into choices by her emotions rather than logic or mutual respect, you're being controlled. Part 2. Manipulation 2. Withholding affection, or sex, as a weapon. Sex and affection are powerful currencies in relationships. And unfortunately, some women weaponize them to control behavior, reward obedience, and punish resistance. How it looks. She's warm and loving when you do what she wants. She becomes cold, distant, or sexually unavailable when you disagree well with her. Why it works. Physical intimacy isn't just about pleasure. It's about emotional bonding. Depriving you of that connection triggers anxiety, fear of abandonment, and a desperate need to fix things. Real example. You set a boundary she didn't like suddenly. She's not in the mood for days, until you cave and apologize for something you didn't even do. Key point. When intimacy is used like a carrot or a stick, it's not love, it's control. Part 3. Manipulation 3. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is psychological warfare. It's when someone deliberately twists reality to make you doubt your own memory, perception, and sanity. How it sounds. You're overreacting. That never happened. You're crazy. You always imagine things. You're just insecure. Why it works. The more you doubt yourself, the more you become dependent on her version of reality. You stop trusting your instincts and start trusting her narrative, even when it's toxic. Real example. You catch her flirting with another man. She calls you paranoid and insists you always ruin everything with your jealousy. Over time, you stop confronting her at all, because you're terrified of being wrong again. Key point. If you constantly feel confused, guilty, or unsure around her, even when facts are clear, you're probably being gaslit. Part 4. Manipulation. 4. Creating drama to establish dominance. Not every fight is random. Some women create chaos intentionally to throw you off balance, drain your energy, and re-establish control. How it works. Out-of-nowhere accusations. Picking fights at important moments, before a work meeting, family event, etc. Manufacturing crises to make you chase, apologize, or defend yourself. Why it works. Constant emotional storms exhaust you. When you're drained, you're easier to manipulate. You stop setting boundaries just to keep the peace. Real example. You plan a weekend with friends, suddenly she picks a huge fight, accuses you of abandoning her, and forces you to cancel. Mission accomplished. Her needs first, your independence crushed. Key point. True love brings peace, not constant chaos. If every situation somehow revolves around her feelings, you're being dominated. Part 5. Manipulation 5. Playing the victim to gain power. In any conflict, the one who looks like the victim gains sympathy, and often, power. Some women master the art of victimhood to rally allies, destroy reputations, and emotionally blackmail you into compliance. How it sounds. I can't believe you would treat me like this after all I've been through. Everyone warned me about you. I should have listened. You're abusive. Why it works. Humans are naturally protective of perceived victims. Once she paints herself as innocent and you as the monster, the social pressure to apologize, submit, or isolate yourself becomes overwhelming. Real example. You calmly express a need for more space. She tells her friends you're emotionally neglectful, and suddenly, you're the bad guy in everyone's eyes. Key point. True victims don't use their pain as a weapon. If she's constantly the wounded angel, and you're the villain, even when you treat her with love and respect, you're being manipulated. Conclusion. The cost of not seeing the game. Here's the real danger. The longer you stay blind to these manipulations, the more you lose yourself, your confidence, your identity, your dreams. Control is never given freely, it's taken, piece by piece, while you're too distracted by guilt, hope, or confusion to notice. Final advice. Trust actions, not words. Protect your emotional boundaries. Stay grounded in reality even when you're being gaslit. Remember, real love lifts you up. It doesn't drain, trap, or diminish you. Become the man who cannot be controlled, not because you're heartless, but because you're finally awake. If you found this eye-opening, smash that like button. Subscribe for weekly content to protect your mind, your heart, and your future. And share this with a brother who's walking blind into the storm. Stay sharp, stay sovereign, stay you.